Hello everyone, this video is entitled Adding the 7th degree to your chords. Now what I mean by this is, if you've watched my chord video on chord construction, how we build chords, what we'll do is we'll build it from the major scale. And what I mean by that, say if we were going to have C major, we're going to play the C major scale. Obviously from the last video we know to use 1, 3, 5. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add the 7th degree. And what I mean by that is we're going to count from C up the scale to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to play that note now as well, which gives us this one, C major 7, this chord. You can also play it here, but this way all the intervals are stacked up nicely, so we've got the root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. So if I went through that too quickly, I'll just run through it again. So we know a chord is built up from 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, C, E, G. We can play that in that position. Like I say, if this is a bit weird at the minute, watch my chord construction video. It'll make sense from there. And now, to add the 7th degree, what we're going to do is we're going to count up the scale to 7 and play the 7th. And then we can play it in this one as well. So we can play 3rd fret of the 5th string, 5th fret of the 4th string, 4th fret of the 3rd string, 5th fret of the 2nd string, 3rd fret of the 1st string. And that is C major 7. Now what we can also do is we can do this for every chord, and if we were going to do it to D, remember we work this out now by starting the C major scale from D, which is Dorian. That's the mode. If we start the major scale from D, that's D Dorian. But we can work out notes from there. We can use the 7th degree of that scale. So we can use that note there. So instead of playing D minor like this, we can add the C onto it, which makes D minor 7. So altogether we've got, and if we use that for the basis of what we're going to do now, we can put 7ths onto every single one of the chords from the C major. So we've got C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, it'll be G7, so when you work it out it's got a flat 7. So when you've got a major chord which has a flat 7 in it, and what I mean by that is it's not a semitone below, it's 2. It's like a minor 7, if that makes more sense. It's going to be a dominant chord. And then it'll be A minor 7. And then this is a weird one, it's going to be B minor 7 flat 5. And then back to. Now I was just playing it all the way up there, it's just in a linear fashion, just so it's easier to visualise on a fretboard. You wouldn't really do that, you'd find different versions to find it. Now another way how to work out all this other stuff for working out chords and 7th degrees is to relate things to the major scale. A lot of people will do this, they'll relate everything to the major scale. So if we were going to do, say if we were just going to do D minor, and instead of doing the D Dorian thing, we might go, right, we'll relate it to the major scale, which I recommend doing this. So we'd go D, even though it's a minor chord that we want, we'd relate it to the major scale. So we'd know that a D minor chord has a 1, 3, 5, but it uses 1 flat 3, 5. So we do this, we play the major scale in D, but we know it needs a flat 3rd, so we'd go, and then we play the normal 5, So we know that that is the one, those three notes are what we need to make D minor. And also to make a minor 7 chord, it's also got a flat 7. This is every single minor 7 chord. It'll have root, flat 3rd, 5th, flat 7. So we'd go up the major. We know it's a flat 7, so we know it's a 3rd. So that'd be all stacked up. I just tap the root there. So that's another way of looking at it, and I recommend using this and relating everything to that, because that's also how we would relate to a dominant chord. So we would have 1, 3, 5, flat 7. So if we were going to do D7, which is D dominant, we would have 1, 3, 5, and we'd have a flat 7. So every dominant chord will be built from that. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. And you can use that for anything. D minor 7, flat 5 pretty much tells you exactly what's in it. You've got D, and it's minor, so we're going to have a minor 3rd. And then we've got a flat 5, because it's D minor 7, flat 5, so you'd have. So we've got that already. And then it says minor 7, so we've got. So that's just, these are just some ways of working out chords. It might make more sense that way. I will do a lesson on all the different, well, not all the different types of chords, but I select number of chords and how we would relate that from major scale, and how we would name how those chords work. So we've got C major 7, D minor 7. Now we went through a 2-5-1 in another lesson. So why don't we do a 2-5-1 now with 7s in C? So we would have C major 7. That would be the root. We want a 2-5-1, so we'd start on D. So we'd have D minor 7. Then we go to the 5, which is G. Now this isn't going to, normally would be a major, but every 5 chord of a major scale, so in C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we know that's going to be major. However, every 5 chord in a major scale, if you were adding 7s, it's going to become the dominant, because it's the dominant chord and it has the flat 7 in when you work it all out. So you'd have G7. The way in which you'd play this, you'd play a normal G major, and you just take your pinky off, and you'd have that F ringing out, which is barred there at the 3rd fret of the 4th string. Then you go resolve it. See, as you can hear that, you can hear it wants to resolve to that C major 7. It sounds nice, it works, it's a perfect cadence. Perfect cadence is where you do a 5 to 1. So we do 5, 1. This sounds a lot more jazzy. This is a very jazzy chord progression. They always use 2-5-1s. So they'll always go. That's how they've. I think that's Maroon 5. Fair play. But that's a little 2-5-1 that they've obviously done. So I just wear that in my head as I was playing. I could hear it. But no, that's how you would apply 7ths. You would count the scale, find the 7th one, and then put it on top of the chord in which you have. Now, like I say, if I haven't been that clear on this one, just learn what I've showed you: the D minor 7, G7, and the C major 7. At least learn those shapes, so if you ever see it, you can go, oh yeah, I know that one from that lesson. I'll also do another lesson on, I'll call it something else other than chord construction, but the way to work out all chords, and it will be to do with relating it to the major scale. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. If you have, then please go to my Facebook page, Tony Astle Guitar. There'll be a link in the description below. Like it, I have regular updates on lessons and just generally some cool guitar stuff. If you're a Twitter person, you can go on my Twitter, again, link in the description below. and subscribe to my channel where you'll just get notified of new lessons that I post. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.